Thank you very much for having me here this evening. I love that you all are involved or have passion for technology and how important it is when we can do that either for efficiency or making our lives better or doing it for good. So I admire you all, and it's exciting to hear about you as well, and I hope that we get a chance to chat afterwards as well. I want to start a little bit with my story, because I think it's so important, no matter what you're doing, that you've got a story that you're really keying into that will be kind of a thread through your life. My story actually didn't start with technology, but migrated into it. I was 12 years old on a family vacation in Mexico, totally in my tomboy phase, and we were there, and my dad and I were walking around a marketplace, and I think Mazatlan, and he and I, there's the silver and the burritos and all that, and he and I veered off into a cul-de-sac and saw all of these starving, begging children. And it was just such a powerful moment for me as a 12-year-old to see all these children this way. I was like, I cannot live life with this. I can't do it. So I came back. I'm from here. I'm a native Californian. I came back here and started volunteering in East Palo Alto, which now we have the Four Seasons Hotel, but back then had something called Whiskey Gulch. I don't know how many of you know it, but it was really kind of a rough area. It was the #1 murder per capita in the U.S. at the time. And I did everything from like handing out, meals and clothing and all of that, and eventually working more on GED and high school requirements, and then also going and doing crisis counseling with suicide victims, just started volunteering all over. But that moment became something that informed my entire life story. And that's the kind of thing you can walk away from that cul-de-sac and get, overwhelmed by, which it is for a lot of us. Or you can make it meaningful and make it a part of your story. And that's what I encourage you to do, however it is. Maybe it's a pivotal moment like that. Maybe it's a conversation with someone. Maybe it's just listening to your heart inside. What's your story? And you can have multiple stories. I'm in a second story now, but on this building, of course, second story, and then also second story. Oh, okay. I'm in the mood. But I think the thing is to really find something that you're passionate about in whatever way that might be. And sometimes it might be something on the side. Sometimes we might be paying off student loans. You need to work at a really, big tech company or whatever it is, and do your best there to pay off your loans. That's a calling too. We have different callings and different stories that happen through our lives, and they're all good as long as the motive is good. So after doing that, then I got a little crazy. My whole family, I'm so grateful that I started, when I got, to be more of an adult and not just 12, I started volunteering all over the world. I volunteered in the earthquake crisis in El Salvador. I was volunteering with people in microfinance in India. I was literally wanting to find out what it was like to go lower class on the Indian trains, and had to chain yourself on the trains to be there. And it was, they're like, be careful, you have to chain yourself because you could get stolen as a woman. I mean, it's really, really tough situations and volunteering in that situation. And so from that, I thought, do I want to be on the road all the time? And I'm going to be honest with you, as much as maybe I'm a strong woman because I started a company, I made a decision that I was going to be too lonely on the road. And I share that with you because you could be strong in starting a company, but you might feel very vulnerable. I treasure my family, and friends, and I need to be not on the road all the time. So have the courage to know yourself and realize where it's okay. I would be lonely. That's not a strong quality per se, but it's real. It's real, and it allowed me to establish something like UniversalGiving here rather than being in development work on the road all the time. So have that courage to allow yourself to be weak. It's not really weak, it's being authentic. It's being true to who you are. Now, I still go out and I volunteer and do those things. You don't have to stop at all. You still want to be on the road all the time. So I encourage you to kind of think about that kind of part of how your story informs your life. So I decided that, I came back, and then all of a sudden I was so excited because I fell in love. I was getting a master's in international communications, and all of a sudden they started talking about this whole buzz about, oh my gosh, the web. Is everyone here? It's like, the web is coming, the web is coming. I'm like, what is this? What is this? So I'm just going to share a little of information for you. Probably none of you have ever heard of chipmunk. Does anyone know about the tech chipmunk? This is how you got stuff off the web. You guys are facing luxury now. You just type in a website or URL and you get your website. No, let me tell you what happened when the web first launched. I will tell you, you said, I would like this kind of document, you punch it in, and this little gopher chipmunk comes down and jumps down, and then goes back up to the web, something up at the top of your computer, comes back down with a piece of paper in his mouth, the chipmunk, and delivers it on your desktop, and it blew up into a Word document. That's what the web was. And it took a long time. Okay? So when people say this website's so slow, I'm like, no, it's not. So I think there's evolutions in technology, but I fell in love with the web because it allowed me to scale. Rather than just going and do one-off volunteer trips, I could be here and I could allow thousands of other people to get involved in giving and volunteering without being abroad all the time and without being on the road. And so that marriage of the story and the marriage of the technology was so exciting to me. I fell in love with that whole kind of recipe, if you will. So what happens when you start an organization involved in technology, you're going to face road bumps, and that's okay. The key is you got to find something, first of all, your story that really inspires you, so you don't want to give up no matter how many no's you get. If I had known how many no's I would have gotten on funding, I had one of the top foundations in the world saying to me, is there a market for international giving? Wow, I had to fight something like that. Sometimes you have to fight people who are jealous of you. Sometimes you have to fight, someone telling you your project's cute. I got told that in funding, so this is so cute. And then they write you a check for $500 when you really need to fund it early on with the first year with $500,000. You're going to handle that with graciousness and realize that we're all limited in our thinking. How can we embrace and be different in our thinking? Not judge people back and just be gracious and accept that $500 and be grateful that it will pay for something and then go on to the next one. And so you have to figure that out in technology. Sometimes if you're doing something very innovative, that you might get a lot of no's in anything in business. Now, early on, when I was co-founding Volunteer Match in '96, it was such a different tech environment. At the time then, they thought, you guys are the big bears of Silicon Valley. You are taking over the whole volunteer space, the poor libraries, the poor volunteer centers. You're making them go out of business. That's what we faced. It wasn't that we were doing good. We were seen as tech for-profits. We weren't. We were a nonprofit. But we were seen as these big bears coming in. So sometimes when you launch new technology, now, Volunteer Match, Universal Giving, no problem. You go to a website, you find a way to give and volunteer. But back then, it was seen as cannibalizing good people who are doing good work. And they are doing good work, and they continue to do good work, and you can do your good work too. So be prepared that when people are trying to get used to new things, sometimes they get a lot of pushback. It's easier to say no than to embrace a new idea. Be prepared for that, and that's okay, because you got your vision and you're going to keep moving forward. So you might get a lot of those no's. So, once I left Volunteer Match, because I wanted to go international, I had to start again. And I thought, well, I have a track record now. Sometimes it makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't. Right? Sometimes people are like, well, there's no market for international giving. I was early, I was 2001. And then guess what? 9/11 happened. Do you think people wanted to give after 9/11? No. Everyone was coming back in. They wanted to give locally. They didn't want anything to do with international. But I still built it because I knew by the time people started to get courageous again, it would be time. So we built the website, and 2 years later, it was time. So don't stop your vision. There's something about market timing, but don't stop it just because of an event that way. That feeling from 9/11 didn't haunt us for the rest of our lives. So with Universal Giving, we help people donate money and volunteer in 100 countries across the world. 100% goes direct to the cause. We don't take a cut of the donation. We believe your donation should be pure. 100% goes to that cause. And from all my international experiences, I saw amazing leaders on the ground. Incredible. And then I saw a whole bunch of fraud. So I knew we had to set up a quality model that would allow people to trust, even if they couldn't be on the ground. So we started off at 6 stages, and now we're 24 stages. We look at the global vision out there, we look at what our clients are asking us, and what we need in order to make people feel like, yes, I feel secure in giving. And then, to be good business people, even though we're a nonprofit, we're social entrepreneurs, we generate revenue. So we go into companies, Cisco, BHP Billiton, we go in and we help them with their CSR programs and allow them to succeed in their global CSR strategies and make an impact all over the world. And we vet their NGOs and we source their NGOs and we disperse those funds and they pay us to do that. So we generate revenue by working with companies. It's not a grant. We're coming in and helping run their CSR programs. So if you're in the nonprofit realm, I encourage you as a social entrepreneur to think about how can you generate revenue to make sure you're sustainable long term. And we still fundraise and we donate, and we need donations, and that's important. But if you have some sustainable revenue, that certainly helps you in the long term. So with this, what's happening with technology more and more, what's interesting, and I encourage you to do this in technology, we get so much about efficiency. We get so much about the kind of whiz-bang of new things, or Snapchat, or all these kind of viral videos and all this. At the end of the day, the thing that is not going to leave is your personal touch. It's not. One of the things we're doing in technology now is we're facilitating hundreds of volunteers all over the world. But we're starting now, excellence in client service, to call them and say, how was your experience? We want to hear how you are. And even when we don't hear back from people, a lot of times, I know if I get a call, I'm like, how nice this person called, how great. There's a feeling behind this marketplace. I'm a part of something greater than rather just a number on a site. We want people to feel a part of a community. So I encourage you in technology, how are you going to help people live quicker lives, better lives, or help them be more efficient, more healthy, positive lives? But how are you also going to make it personal? How will you make technology personal? That is the call of what will happen in the next century, because people are going to be hungering for human experience. I have a funny story to tell you. I told my dad I think it was about 5 or 10 years ago, I said, Dad, there's going to be a point where we pay for hotels. They're going to charge us $500, $600 to say, we're tech-free. There's no cellular, there's no internet, there's no TV, there's nothing. It's all pure nature. I said, unbelievable. We're going back to caveman time and paying $500, $600 a night for it. Because that's not going to happen. I'm like, no, it's going to happen. It happens now. A pure natural environment where no one can reach you. Why? Because it's natural, it's pure, it's personal, it's giving you yourself. How are you in technology going to get people to connect? How are you going to do that? Not just be more efficient, not just come up with the latest technology. How are you going to make your technology be innovative and helpful and personal? And that's what's so exciting about the web and where we're headed and everything the internet. So my final note to you all is, again, and this is not tech-oriented because I think tech people need to know this, I have a spiritual board of advisors. It is not related to universal giving. It is about my whole life. If I have a challenge, I can go to them. I can talk to them about issues that happen at universal giving, in my personal life, anything like that. And they help me tremendously. Keep the people who are your main people very, very close to your heart. They can be sounding boards for you. They can help you think of new ideas. They keep your values centered. And you know what? It's a joy. You can't tell me you're going to be like, I made it big in the technology realm and I don't really have good friends. It doesn't work. And I see it in Silicon Valley a lot. And you do succeed, but you're not really successful because you don't have love people around you. Who are they? For me, it was my grandmother, who was the first woman at Juilliard, who fought so hard. She tried out 35 years straight to get into the NBC Symphony Orchestra and finally made it her 35th year as a woman. Anytime that I think about giving up, I'm like, oh boy, I need to just be quiet and I need to just accept the spirit of my Oma, my grandmother, and she's there with me. Keep those people close with you and go to them, and don't wait to cultivate that. People in tech, because we're moving so quickly, especially need that, right? So I want to thank you so much for having me here today. I want to tell you, anyone can contact me. I love helping people on their journeys in life. I want to thank Amy, who is our team member here, who's come here back from the UK. She was an intern with us, and now she's paid staff. We love converting our interns and our returnees to paid team members, because they get to see us, we see them, and we go, we want to come back, we want to work together. But just keep your technology, make it efficient, make it helpful, but keep it personal. And that's my message to you tonight. And if there's any way that I can help you, you please let me know. And thank you for having me